Hi guys, and welcome to Double R Farm. My name is Shelly and I'm so glad that you're here with us today. Whether it's your first or 50th time, your support means the world to me. Here on this channel, we are all about homesteading, natural living, and living the life you love. So if you are ready to be part of our awesome community, please hit that subscribe button. Whether it's gardening, animals, or essential oils, I am sure you will find something here. It is my sincere hope that I inspire you to live the life that you love. While raising meat rabbits is an essential part of our homesteading, making sure that they have the nutrition that they need to be able to produce healthy offspring and to give us clean protein as well, you need to make sure that they are fed the appropriate diet. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We all know my love for my rabbits, and I have been reading so much that I want to share the stuff that I've learned with you so that if you are venturing into rabbits, you can give them the best possible nutrients so that you are able to, one, have clean, healthy protein, an abundance of it, because rabbits reproduce every month, which is great for you, right? And also, you want to make sure that your moms, your does, have the nutrients that they need to be able to produce the milk that the kits are going to need. And you want to make sure that they're healthy and happy. So if you're ready to dive in today's topic, sit back, relax, and let's get to it. So we're hanging out with Vanilla and Spot. She just had a new kit 3 days ago, so that's super exciting. And she is very, very comfortable with me hanging out with her and her offspring. I have Vanilla in here as well, who is super protective. So these guys do not mind me hanging out with them at all. So that is why we're hanging out with them. I'm trying to get them a little more sociable because there are lots of things you can do with rabbits to produce income, but we're not talking about that today. Stay tuned if you want to know all the things that I have planned to make our dream of being full-time homesteaders more possible. I'm super excited about it, you guys. A lot of my information I'm getting from Rabbit Ranching, a practical guide for raising meat rabbits. I will put the link, Amazon link. I don't get anything from it. I just think that this book is very helpful. It is written by Deborah Mays, and she has a BS in wildlife management. She actually practices all this stuff. All right. So the first thing that we are going to talk about and the whole topic of today's YouTube is feeding your rabbits. Okay, feeding your rabbits is the most important step or procedure that you're gonna have in your rabbitry, right? So if you don't feed your rabbits correctly, you will be wasting a lot of time and energy and money, and I don't want that for you. Nobody wants to do that. Whether you're producing the rabbits as pets or you're producing them for meat or a side income, I want you to feed them correctly so that you are getting the most for your money. So rabbits are purely herbivores, meaning that they only eat vegetation. Their diet is strictly plant-based, which means that it has a harder time to process its food. Rabbits have, generally speaking, a very large stomach compared to their body size, and the reason for that is in the wild, rabbits typically only eat twice a day. They eat early in the morning and late at night to help avoid predators. Your domestic rabbits are the same way. I typically see my rabbits eating usually when I go to work and then when I feed them when I come home. The reason proper nutrition is so important is to keep the bacteria appropriate for the rabbit's stomach so that the whole digestion system works properly and effectively for them, right? So most of the time people will feed their animals the pellets, and that is, it has a lot of protein in it, it has the vitamins and minerals that it needs, but rabbits also need access to hay daily. And that should be something that, from what I've read, is something that is not limited, because it helps with digestion and it also helps with their teeth. If you're not lucky enough to be able to produce your own hay, there are many commercial brands that you can buy at Tractor Supply, Rural King if you live down in Kentucky, any feed store. The Timothy hay is great. I believe there's Orchard Grass and Oat Hay are all acceptable, and you can get them really inexpensively at your feed store. If they don't have those brands, just ask them if they have anything similar, and they'll be able to help you out. Most feed stores, their staff are great, especially for beginners, okay? And like I said, most veterinarians and rabbit experts are going to tell you that hay is essential no matter what your bag of feed says. They need it. They need it for their teeth. They need it for the long fibers. There's just so much benefits to having free hay range. Because a rabbit's digestive system is so complex, we definitely have to talk about the sweet treats. All right, I know a lot of people see Bugs Bunny and he was eating carrots, and people, they feel like, oh, let's give our rabbits carrots. So carrots, as I've said in another video, are like our Oreos, okay? They should be given sparsely and infrequently, because rabbits can't, it can mess up their digestive system, the bacteria. So limit, if you are going to treat your rabbits, make sure that you limit the treats, be very selective on them, and remember, fresh greens are better than dirt. So what I mean by that is you're going to want to feed them things like kale, spinach, lettuce, but not iceberg lettuce. That has really no nutritional value for them. The tops of carrots, the top of beets, right? Those are all great treats for rabbits. You're also be very limiting on the things that grow below the ground, like the carrots, the beets, the potatoes. Those typically are high in starch, low in protein. They add no value to your rabbit's food, so just really limit those. All right, so we've got the basics of food, where you want to make sure that you have pellets available to them, and the amount of pellets you give is based off their weight, and how, if you're going to, have just a buck by himself and a doe, and then a doe and her kits, everybody, if you have them separated out like that, you're gonna need to know how much to feed them. Keep an eye on their feed. You don't want them wasting it, because again, that's just wasting money, and we're trying to save money, make money, be profitable, right? Whether it's, again, producing quality meat for yourself or producing quality meat for an income, right? So you're going to want to read the label on the feed bag once you start looking at it. You're going to want to have a feed that is somewhere between 13 to 18% protein. A doe lactating with a litter of kits and infant kits are going to need the higher end, about the 18 bucks, and dry does. So if you've never heard that term, I just heard it today, and a dry doe is a rabbit who has not been bred or is not expecting. They're going to need somewhere between the 13 and 15, But, it's not profitable. It's not really realistic to be like, okay, well, Vanilla, he needs type A, Spot needs type B, Silver needs type B. It's too much. So really make it simple on yourself and just buy one type. And if you get around the 16 mark, I think that's great for everybody, because there are things that you can add to your does when they're lactating, pregnant, and you can also give it to the kits when they're ready to start being weaned, right? Things like black sunflower seeds are super beneficial. And then there's some other kind of, it's called, I know what it's called. It's called calf manna. It says that it's, it has calf right in it, but it's marketed for rabbits as well. Again, it's going to add supplements for your lactating, growing rabbits and their offspring, right? You're going to want to make sure that you have vitamins A, D, and E in your food as well. All those are important as well. You're going to want to make sure that it has fiber, because rabbits need the fiber to help their digestion work right. I know we talk a lot about the does and their offspring, because really that's the meat of your rabbit production, right? Without the does, you can't have the offspring, and I get without the bucks, you can't have the offspring either, but you definitely cannot make more babies without a doe. And you can't produce more with you just have to have the whole thing. So I want to talk real quick about feeding and weaning off the kits. All right, so the does do this naturally without our help. Typically about 3 to 4 weeks old, they're out, they're eating it by themselves, and they are ready to go. Literature says that about 1.5 pounds, look at that little guy, yeah, they still crack me up. About 1.5 pounds is when you want them fully weaned and separated. Again, we do the 3 to 4 week mark, because right now, Vanilla and Spot, they're pretty much inseparable. We tried to separate them and it didn't work out well for us. So about, like I said, 3 to 4 weeks, they'll be weaned and ready to go into the next pen. So with that being said, you're going to want to add a supplement such as those sunflower seeds to their diet as well, to make sure that they have the protein, energy, the fiber. Starting off with meat rabbits is super easy once you know what you're doing. I encourage you to read the stuff, make small changes so that your operation, whether for commercial or private use, is able to grow the way that you want it to go. Thanks for joining us on this episode. I hope that you found it informative. I'm always learning, so if you have any comments or suggestions, or if you have any questions, drop them below. I love reading them. Again, thank you for your support. If you could just hit that subscribe button, I would so appreciate it. I am working on something special to send out to all my subscribers related to rabbits, so I hope that you find that informative and helpful, and I will definitely be asking for your emails, so just give me a few more days and I'll get that out to you guys. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and thanks for joining.